All right, everybody, welcome to our latest Between the Races podcast on the MXvice network. Thank you, everyone, for listening and supporting the site. We really appreciate it. We'd first like to thank our sponsors in Fly Racing, Monster Energy, Fox, Parts Europe, Scott, Bell Helmets, Acerbis, AS3 Performance, Kawasaki UK, KTM UK, O'Neill, and of course, Even Strokes for all their incredible support. As without them, none of this would be possible. All right, for this episode, we have a special guest backed by popular demand, Swedish MX2 hotshot, Isak Gifting. How's life, and thanks for joining us, mate.
For having me again. Awesome being here. Life's all right. Back in Sweden, as I said to you, we just got like 10 centimeters of snow here. So, I don't know if that's good or not, but it's all right. Not bad.
Cheers for taking the time, mate. And I'm also joined by MXvice test rider and regular contributor on the podcast, Brad Wheeler. How's life? And thanks for joining us too, mate.
Yeah, not too bad. One of the little ones is not feeling too great, so it's been of a lot of sleepless nights. But it's overall everything's good. Been doing some sort of R&D for Scott Motorsports last weekend, so that's pretty cool. Just trying to get things moving for next year now. So we're basically just trying to get things ready for 24.
Yeah, mate, in full swing. And yeah, for you, Isak, how's the end of the season for you? Obviously, you had a few races there since we last spoke. You had that one at Majora where you went flying through the banners that sort of got a lot of traction all over the media there. And obviously, finished up with Madeley and the Nations, which looked like a mega weekend. Crazy stuff. Obviously didn't quite go to plan for you and the team, but still busy end to the year, mate. And I guess you're probably enjoying having a little bit of time off, relaxing, going back home. And did you get the chance to, sample the Paris cafes and do some sightseeing? Because you said you didn't really get a chance to do that, even though you were living there because of the hectic schedule. So how's it all been?
No, it's been all right. I mean, the end of the season was busy, like you said, a lot of races, a lot of traveling, but also very nice races. Like Majora was a pretty cool one, especially with Adamo and Prado becoming champions, especially Adamo, like at his home place or like in Italy. It was pretty sick. And also when I went flying through the banners there, it was pretty cool. I say one of the best moments for me this season. Just because it was a cool thing and I saved it. Otherwise, now I'm just taking some time off and that's been nice. I didn't really spend much time in Paris after Nations. I just kind of went back here and been taking it a little bit easy since then, recovering a bit after the crash also. I crashed there at the Nations in the quali race. Some unfortunate came together with cold enough there. Put an end to that weekend. I'm very disappointed about that.
Any major injuries sustained from that, mate, or are you all good?
No, I'm fine now. Just had a thing with my shoulder there, but it was not bad. So I'm good. Just a shame not being able to race there with the crowd that was there. Unbelievable. It's like maybe once in a lifetime thing.
Looked pretty awesome, didn't it, Brad? We obviously did a podcast on it and it looked just absolutely wild. Fans doing crazy things, mate. I'm sure you got wrapped up in it all. And did the Swedish ones come out in force as well, mate? Obviously, the lit kit looked pretty excellent. All that cool stuff was going on around it. So, just your take on it from the fans' perspective and the vibe and the atmosphere.
Oh, it was just amazing. And also there's always quite a lot of Swedish people coming, and the ones that are actually there, they're crazy as well, like with the chainsaws and everything and the smoke and the flags, and they're all over the place. So it was a good experience. I even took I don't know if you've seen that on the parade thing. I think it was on Friday in the afternoon. I jumped off the truck that we were riding on, and I took the chainsaw and started with the crowd over there.
I think whenever you have a Nations in Europe, particularly in France, that track where it's such a compact area, there's so many people just in that one space, just creates such a good atmosphere. Rather than like places like Matley Basin is great, but you need a lot of people to fill that area. It's a big space to fill, and has the danger of looking a bit empty when there is a lot of people there, but just because it's such a big area, it's hard to get the same atmosphere as what you get at a place like Renee. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't fortunate enough to go, but yeah, just looking from the telly, you kind of got got the gist of how mad the crowd was. Obviously, just with France being so dominant as well, it just set up for just a mental weekend. But what's it like from a rider's perspective? Is it a hassle to go to the nations for you, or is it kind of, what's the sort of the Swedish governing body like? Are they pretty helpful? Do they put their hand in their pocket at all?
No, yeah, they're helpful, definitely. It's not a hassle, really. Like, and especially not for me, because I enjoy doing it, and a little bit organization and stuff, but also my team was really helpful, like fixing all the gear and making everything look nice. And yeah, and especially this one I was really motivated to do, with me moving up a class, going 450.
Yeah. What was it like? Was that your first race, like big race on the 450?
Yeah, it was. And I didn't have much time on it before, just a couple times on the bike. But I felt all right on the bike, like in the morning and stuff. Just in the race, I didn't get much time. I just done like 2-3 laps, and then yeah, I came together with Glenn in the jump there. So that was the end of it.
Yeah, and obviously looking towards 2024, we sort of had a little chat about it. Obviously, nothing's finalised for you yet, mate. So I guess just in that process, it must be a pretty challenging thing to go through as a rider, because, you know, you work so hard, you work your whole life for this, you know, to be a professional and to make it work. And it's just so difficult with the money side and the team side and I guess the age rule as well, moving up to MXGP as well. It makes things pretty difficult. I guess in an ideal world, you probably would have stayed with the VHR guys for another year in MX2 or a couple of years, but I suppose that's the way it is. So how's the process going for you, mate? Pretty stressful, I'd imagine, but yeah, fingers crossed we'll have some news to share on you soon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a lot of work also, like in the off season, getting everything together, because you want it to be as good as possible for you. And yeah, with me moving up to 450, but I enjoy moving up to 450 though. I'm really looking forward to riding the big bike. I think it would suit me pretty well, and the days I've done on it felt very good. So yeah, hopefully I'll get something together. But yeah, I mean, I can get something together. I just want it to be, yeah, what's best for me, and find what's most motivating and where can I perform the best. So yeah, it's still a lot of work, and I'm trying to find something. So I'm still open for it.
Yeah. Nah, mate, we definitely look forward to seeing what comes next, because obviously the 450 is an exciting, you know, move in your career, moving up, even though you have to. It's just the way it is in the MXGP world, but it's pretty cool, mate. What are your favorite things about the bike so far? Obviously, being a bigger guy, those starts we were talking about last time will be huge. You'll enjoy that bit of extra power. I guess it sort of comes with challenges and a lot of those tighter MXGP circuits as well, but I guess you'll just relish trying to adapt to it and make it as smooth as possible. And I guess, when does your pre-season fully kick into gear for you? Start ramping it up, because building that base is just so important in the winter, isn't it? To build into the next season of racing, you got to get all that hard work, all that suffering and sacrifices about to be coming your way pretty soon, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I need to get something together so I can do all that prep. But I got an enduro bike coming next week, actually. So I just bought a gasgas 350 enduro, and yeah, so I'll start riding that thing in the snow here. Might go down to Italy, ride a bit there. So yeah, I will keep myself busy anyway. But yeah, need to start the preparation soon for what's coming, especially moving up on a big bike. But yeah, that would be good for me. Like you said, I'm a little bit bigger guy, like not that heavy, but like 75K, but it's still hard to get a 250 going if you're not on a factory bike, you know. So I feel like it's kind of maybe easier, at least, to compare the engines in the 450 class. Of course, the factory bikes are still very fast and they got better ECUs and all that, but I think, yeah, I mean, you have a lot more power to work with. So I think maybe in the starts it's more comparable, or you can be more competitive in the starts with a privateer bike there.
Yeah, I think with like technology nowadays and the amount of mapping you can just do on your phone with a standard ECU on a 450, like if you just chuck a pipe on it, maybe like a high compression piston, there's very few people in the world that are using a 450 to its fullest potential. So yeah, I think like you said, the starts, I think you could be more than competitive on not a bog standard bike, but something decent enough. I don't think the factory bikes are necessarily making more power. They're just obviously got the resources to get the power where the rider wants it exactly, and just make them. I think comfort is a bigger factor on the 450 than the 250, whereas 250 is just get as many horses out of the engine as you can, and then we can work with the rest. Whereas I think I think the 450 is, you want to be comfortable, and that allows you to ride it faster. But that's just my
that's it.
Overweight opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. But I'm not sure about the starts though, how they do it. Like, for example, what Prado's got for the start, or I don't know. It's fast.
I think the fact that he's about 8 stone piss wet through probably helps.
Yeah, also, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do about genetics, really. Maybe you could chop off a leg.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be something.
What's your take quickly on Prado doing the Supercross, mate? Do you reckon that's pretty cool to bring that attention, I guess, to MXGP? And I suppose it's bad for the series in a lot of ways to lose another guy, because obviously, it's kind of the goal for a lot of these dudes to go to America. Obviously, you got the Coonan brothers will be on the way. De Wolf wants to go. Someone like Benestant, Rossi, they're all pretty keen for it. And Prado's obviously particularly high profile, just winning the MXGP title, then going to do some testing. So what's your take on all that?
Yeah, I think it's sick. I think it's the right decision. Like, why not? At least give it a go and try it out. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing with the arenas and all that. And yeah, just how you ride the Supercross, it looks amazing. I would love to give it a go as well. Like, anywhere, like do some Supercross, it would be pretty cool. It's just a shame how the season went this winter with all the injuries in America.
Yeah, obviously Talviku, I just did a podcast with him the other day, and he's gone over there with the team, so that's pretty cool. He doesn't have too much experience, but it shows, obviously, he did those AMA Nationals. It shows they're obviously looking for riders all the time, all these various teams. So I guess there's always opportunities around the corner as well, like some of the guys doing the Canadian stuff, like Lars Van Berkel. It's pretty cool that, depending on how things work out, it'd be pretty cool to race an AMA National or do some Canadian rounds next year too, wouldn't it, mate?
Yeah, that would be a cool thing too, definitely. That's one way to start riding Supercross as well, get over there. What did Talviku say? Is he riding Supercross this winter?
Yeah, he's starting off in arena cross, so he's just literally started practicing in the last couple of weeks, gone over there with the team Creo, and then he plans on doing that, and then East Supercross. So he's just started hitting the whoops and getting used to all the suspension, the transitions, the bike. So it's actually pretty interesting to learn all about it. But they saw him racing those nationals over the last couple of years, and we're happy to give him a chance. And I think a lot of new stuff, everything's new, the life, the bike, the team, teammates, environment, food. So I think he's just looking forward to it, and it should be pretty interesting. That arena cross will certainly be an eye-opening one, because they don't mind sending it in there for the money. Those dudes, they're just brutal. So those tight tracks should be an interesting initiation, but I suppose that'd be something you'd be pretty interested in doing too, I guess, if you had the chance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for a lot of things. I'm open to try a lot of stuff. I could go anywhere and race, really. But yeah, of course, you're always motivated to do, especially GPs or like nationals, or you want to race at the highest level. But sometimes you need to go another way to get there. What did he say about starting to ride Supercross though, Talviku?
Yeah, he said they've only got a really
with the whoops and all.
Yeah, he said just it's a really small track, like an arena cross style practice style track out in Kansas there. So he said it was sort of nothing too bad yet. He felt pretty good The actual whoop side of it is video of him going through them. So, they're not huge or anything, but it's like a little bit of a learning process. But he said he was quite happy so far for just like a handful of times on the bike. And yeah, he's just got to get used to that suspension. I think is going to be the main thing, and the transitions and the steepness. And yeah, I guess just that close combat racing, because it's something else, isn't it? It's not like it's a big wide gate like motocross. Everything's just so new. So I think he's just going to have to find out the hard way, like with everything you do, you got to put yourself in the deep end and have a crack, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, you never know. You can always fail with everything you do. So why not just try whatever you feel like doing? You never know. It can end up really good. So yeah, I think he's doing a good thing there. Sure.
Do you think? I feel like Prado is gonna do a couple Supercrosses this year or next year? Sorry. He seems to be riding it like a lot, like from it being sort of like
he's doing it this winter.
Pardon?
You think he's doing it this winter?
Well, like obviously they were saying he's going to go over and like try some Supercross, see how he gets on. He might go there in 26, but like to me he was going to go do like a couple of days, see if he picks it up, and then I don't know, you have some time off or start doing some outdoor stuff. But it seems like he's on it just like every day, just like flat out on the Supercross track. And I don't know, get the impression he's just going to be like the first couple like Roxon did in 2011, and then come back to GPs unless he's like winning it. But I don't know. Just
that would be awesome.
I
would love to see that.
Impression.
Yeah, maybe.
He looks decent enough. But like,
for sure. I mean,
not really ever having ridden it, not really ever hit whoops. I think, obviously, we got over 2 months still until Anaheim won. I think.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, he would be all right. He would be good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's an awesome rider. But he's not going to win it, though, is it? The first couple of races.
Not likely, but I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say so.
He's good at the start, and he's a fucking nightmare to get by looks of it.
That's true, though. He will take every hole shot.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I could definitely...
Right.
I could definitely see
no,
him.
he might... I think he might get a podium on a good day. In the beginning, like if he would just go and do Supercross like right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he's done before. I don't think he's done much before he came there now.
No. Yeah, I think obviously A1's usually a bit more tamed down, as it's the first round. They don't want to write everyone off straight away. So yeah, I don't know. I just obviously Roxon did it in 2011 and came back and did the GPs. I guess if he's intending on going there in 26, which looks pretty set in stone, I don't see what the harm is. Obviously, getting injured would be the harm, but I suppose you can get injured. Yeah. You can get injured walking across the street. So
yeah, like Jeffrey said.
Do you have any plans to go to A1, mate? Or have you ever been before? It'd be a pretty awesome experience. Obviously, this year especially, on top of what Brad was just saying, the Lawrence brothers will both be 450s. You'll have Tomac, Sexton on the KTM, AP, AC, Anderson, Webb, Christian Craig, Mookie. Like, it's just absolutely stacked. Dean Wilson. Like, even getting in the main events, pretty brutal. So just your thoughts on actually going to A1. Have you been? And how awesome would it be to go there? Because the 2024 season is going to be absolutely brutal, isn't it? I haven't even mentioned Ken Roxon in there too. So for Anders, who knows what he's doing? So it's just the depth is incredible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That would be cool to watch. Yeah, it would be pretty nice to go over there and have a look. When is the first race?
First week of January, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. I'll have to see what I'm doing then. I don't know yet.
That should be good. Who do the guys you look up to most in America and just, enjoy watching the most, just seeing all the things they do on the bike? Obviously, there's so much talk about Jet Lawrence with, the head positioning, the body positioning, the way he attacks different sections and just his balance and stability on the bike, how he's just so connected and really looks like he's not trying like a poetry in motion kind of thing. So I was talking to Spees last week and he was saying, yeah, you can try and replicate it, but it's just like just a pure talent. It's so hard to do all that stuff and the strength you need to do that stuff. You can't just say, teach your kids how to do that. It's not really that easy. There's so many building blocks and fundamentals that need to be instilled before you can get to that level, isn't there, mate? So just your take on Lawrence and some of the guys you enjoy watching particularly.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that what Deegan said too? Like, you can't really change your style into another rider style. Like, you can't just ride like Jet and it's going to work out for you. So, and I believe in that theory too. But you can definitely look at basically everything he's doing and try maybe and see if it works for you, because it just looks awesome. But I think I look more maybe at Prado at the GPs, just because, I don't know, it's just so nice to watch. Just goes out there in the front and it looks like everything he's doing, he's got so much time to do it. Coming into corners, braking, it never looks like he's stressed or, like he's braking too late or anything. It just looks like he's got a lot of time. And it's pretty much the same with Jet though. But maybe Jet's a bit more special with his technique. I mean, he's just unbelievable, but I love watching Prado. But also, I like to watch like Barcia, for example, to mix it up. Something completely different, just aggressive and just raw, like cool stuff. I like that too. I like that, just like sending it, taking a chance, taking the risk. Like two different riding styles. I think it's pretty cool to kind of look at both of them, kind of mix it up a little bit. Like, you want to ride safe and nice, but you also want to be able to just go a bit crazy sometimes,
Yeah, it's almost like you watch people like Barsha and Deegan and Tomac, and you can kind of you can see why they're going fast. Like, they're just hitting everything, just wide open, slamming into the berms, just throttles on. They're just hanging off the back of the thing, scrubbing the things hard. And then with Jet, you're kind of just trying to figure out what he's doing. Why is he 12 seconds in front and he's just on the pegs? But it's I don't know. You watch him, it's like he's just bored and he's just trying to do things to entertain himself. But he obviously makes it work. But like you said, it's like watching Jeffrey in the sand. It's just he's not just slamming everything harder than everyone else. He's like doubling bumps, tripling bumps, wheel tapping things, like
the power and finesse, isn't it?
Yeah, like people obviously caught onto it. Like, now it's not as a bigger gap as what it was back in sort of like 2012, 2013, when he's literally lapping the entire field. But it's still, just like obviously something that's been instilled in him since birth, pretty much. I guess growing up on tracks like Leerop and Lommel, you pick up a thing or two.
Oh, definitely. Can imagine.
What's obviously you don't really have anything sorted for next year, but do you have are you gonna do a stint down in Belgium, like Lommel, and hit all those tracks, or are you gonna sort of follow the sunshine?
Yeah, follow the sunshine. That's what I'm doing. Well, now I'm just following the snow or the cold. I don't know what I'm doing really, and the darkness.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what I'm doing this winter really, because I need to sort like my plans out, decide what I'm gonna do, and then I can plan after that. But like I said, I just ordered an enduro bike, so I'll start riding some, and then maybe I'll go test with a team or something, do some stuff like this before I decide. Free spirit, I'll just do what I want.
Yeah, if you're interested, there's a practice day at Monster Mountain in 2 weeks' time.
Oh, is it?
If you're keen for that.
Isaac
I
actually
was still
doesn't mind Monster Mountain, you were saying,
Oh,
didn't you,
fuck
mate?
off.
Whereas Brad's not a fan, so have the battle now, mate. Speak your case on Monster Mountain.
Yeah, true. I heard a lot of bad stuff about that place, but yeah, the last race there was pretty good. It was all right. I think it's not too bad. Like I wasn't maybe riding very good, but I think the track was really good.
Really?
Not really good, but it was challenging. Like we had a lot of ruts and it was technical. I remember Tommy was really good there in the ruts. I thought it was a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Like
You wrap the title
yeah.
up there. Does that kind of? I said you obviously wrap the title up there. So does that kind of sway your decision?
Not really, because I had a pretty bad day, to be honest. I mean, already in the time qualifying, but yeah, the track was flat, but I was pretty slow.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I need to focus for the start. And start crash, first moto, terrible. Yeah. And it was a mudder, like it was a proper mud race, that first moto.
The first half of the track is actually all right. It's not too bad. It's the tight bit in that stupid little dragon's back. I don't know if they changed much for the British, but when I went there, people were coming out that corner before the dragon's back, hitting that tabletop, just hooking third, fourth, and just straight down the side of the dragon's back.
Oh, that's right.
That's not even just off the track, hooking gears.
It's only in the UK, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I don't think it was like that now.
No.
It was. It was
I
hard
do slate,
but I get it. When it's flat, it's shit.
I mean, I do slate it. There are better tracks in the UK, but the actual track itself isn't that bad. Just the area, the fact that you're up in the sky, and like the mud in the pits is like, it's like you touch it and everything's just instantly black.
Yeah.
It's not.
There is better places. I think my favorite is Canada Heights, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's
my favorite.
That's a tough track to pass.
Canada Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think lots of sort of dying around the inside. Not a lot of
yeah, true. It's not a lot of passing. Same like Fox Hill, but just rides well.
Fox is the second best track in the UK.
The best track.
Second best. Marshfield is the best track.
Marshfield's the best track. That's it. I've done more days there than any other track in the UK.
Yeah. Training with Stephen.
Yes. Training with Stephen Sword.
Yeah. That's because he knows how to build champions at Marshfield.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even Carmichael's rode Marshfield.
Yep.
There you go.
Yes.
No, that's awesome, mate. Just looking at your year as a whole, I guess, what would you say the highlights and I guess the low points are? Obviously, win the British Championship. Congrats on that again, mate. Awesome effort. I guess there's been so much turbulence, so many ups and downs, but I guess you look back on it now, you're pretty happy and satisfied with how it's all gone and how you've overcome the adversity and the setbacks that have been thrown at you pretty much since the start of the year. Yeah,
I mean, it's been the year's gone by pretty fast because I feel like I've been fighting like all year from the start of the year when Hitachi closed down in February, and I was in Belgium there without a team or anything, and I missed the start of the GPs. Like since then, I've been just fighting and organizing and fixing and traveling and trying to get everything together. And considering that, I think it's been quite all right. Like, yeah, I've had a little bit up and downs, but yeah, nothing too bad. Like no injuries really, nothing like that. So I've just been doing a lot of racing and managed to get the British title. That was a big thing for me, and I got to show myself a little bit a couple of times at the GPs. Like I was fourth in Latvia in Czech Republic in the quali race there, And then obviously leading 20 minutes in Turkey. And that was a nice one. It's the only time I've been leading that many laps. So I definitely had some good races anyway, and I'm just happy for that I was able to get back to that level and show that a couple of times again, even though I missed the whole winter really with the preparations and stuff. So no, it's all right. I wish for a lot more. I was hoping for a lot more than that before the team closed down. Like I felt like I should have done a lot better results at the GPs, but just considering everything that happened, I think that's natural.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. So much instability going in, it doesn't make the ideal preparation. Like, a lot of these dudes are already sorted and have months of work in, and then something like that gets thrown at you. So considering, mate, I think you should be pretty happy with your efforts. Deserve a lot of respect for fighting on through it and just pushing yourself. So I guess onto the tracks in MXGP, what were your favourites? Obviously, we've spoken about Britain. What were your favourites in MXGP? A lot of dudes I've spoken to, they didn't like those really tight tracks like your Swedens, your Vantas, your Arnhems. They still may have some pretty good racing a lot of the time, but there's just a lot of conversations about the tracks and how tight they are and how hard they are to pass. And then the other side of the coin is you guys want to be challenged. You're the best in the world, so you want to have to face everything thrown up, but just your overall take on the tracks and some of your favourites and some of the ones you didn't like.
Like Sweden, I thought I liked the track and I feel comfortable on it, and obviously it's my home GP, but how it turned out on the Sunday there was not very good, because it's just you couldn't pass at all really. It was just one line, but that was a lot of because of the weather and the conditions. Like it turned out one line, but otherwise on Saturday it was at least better. Like you might get a bit one line anyway, but I think it rides pretty nice. But then you had like Arnhem, Lommel this year was not very good.
Hard to get the flow.
At least I didn't like it. It was too tight. Like too much 180 corners. Like you feel like you stop and you go and you stop and you go, kind of thing. It's not the flow that you want. And Arnhem was rough, really rough. Like it was hard on you.
Then they keep trying to change the layout at Lommel. Like every year, it's like a different layout. I get like it keeps things interesting, but I don't know. I feel like the track was sort of its best sort of back in, I don't know, the early 2010s, like 2011, 2012. Just seemed to have like a good flow about it. Like you said, the last couple of years look real tight. Like a lot of 180s, short little straights. Whereas back then it just seemed a lot more flowy and not enjoyable to ride, but less miserable.
Yeah, I think this year was the worst. This year was the worst for me there. Definitely. It's been better before. But we've had a lot of good tracks as well. Matterley was nice this year.
Yeah, Matterley
was really cool. Good. It was cool. Could have been a little bit more rough, maybe. Like a bit softer. It turned out pretty hard in the end, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think they wanted to rip it too much in case it just absolutely hammered it down. Which obviously, being the end of September, was a pretty good possibility. And the ground is kind of naturally quite stony and hard there anyway. But I mean, it looked decent enough. I quite like it when there's not loads of ruts. It makes for good racing. You can square people up, and you're not sort of just governed by like 3 or 4 ruts in the corner. You can get a bit sort of experimental with it because it's a pretty good in the 25s.
Yeah. And then I think Turkey was pretty good too. I had a decent motor there, but I think the track I like that track also since before. Like,
I know one track I would not like to ride was Kegums in Latvia. Does not appeal to me one bit. Looks overly fast in some places, really square edgy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, not fun to ride one bit.
It gets very sketchy, that one, always.
Yeah.
But
It kind of
I feel
reminds
like the
me.
racing is all right there, though. Like,
Yeah.
racing is all
The
right. You
grind
can
kind of
pass
looks
and
similar
stuff.
to Fat Cat.
Fat Cat.
Yeah. Like the grind
I've
is
not
similar
done
to
that one.
it.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it could be. But I haven't been to Fat Cat.
Oh. You didn't do the British there? You were already injured.
No. I missed it last year.
Oh. Yeah. It was awful.
Yeah, what awful. What's it?
Oh God. It was like 25
Okay.
degrees. There was not a drop of water in sight. And the track was basically just a big square. It was
Okay.
yeah. Well, kind of two squares that joined in the middle. It was a lot of left-handers. It was yeah, kind of like a Scalextric track that you'd build when you're 8.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not great. But yeah, speaking of tracks, we had a pretty rough one in France as well this year. Was a lot of talking about that track, especially on the Saturday, I think. Is that when Jago crashed on Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The roughs were unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that, really.
The track looked cool though. It looked like a cool track.
Oh, it was, it was pretty sick. Just
Yeah.
some of the downhills were almost scary, actually. Like, yeah, you're trying to jump off them, and then it's just ruts everywhere, and you just hold on. But then, they fixed it a bit for Sunday, so it was a lot better then. Because there was a lot of crashes there, though.
I think Ferrato and Guadagnini had massive ones too, didn't they?
Yeah, Ferrato, Guadagnini, Gertz. But
I guess looking to 2024, mate, if you're in MXGP, are you excited at the prospect of racing some of those guys we've just spoken about? Hurlings, Geyser, Fevre, Prado, Jeremy Seaworth, Fernandez, Koldenoff, Belandrin on the factory bike. Obviously, Ferrato will be switching teams too. So how does all that, mate? Does that intimidate you, excite you, or a bit of both?
No, it excites me. I look forward to riding with the big boys, like, feeling like you're one of the younger guys again. I like that feeling, so that would be nice. And also, I feel like, like Blanderen and Ferrato, also Tom Cock, some riders, they've been doing really good results actually.
Even Osland. Your mate.
Yeah, for sure. Osland also. So I feel like there's possibilities to do some good results if you have the opportunity, or if you have the right stuff, and if you have a good winter, good preparation. It would be cool.
It'll kind of be good to have a little battle and a race within a race with some of the other guys stepping up from MX2, like Kevin Horgmo, Pansar, and Van der Moosdijk, mate. So that's kind of something you'll probably be looking forward to, just testing yourself against those guys, because the step really is massive, isn't it? Like the EMX 250 to MX2 step, like we see in France with Zanchi and Rossi doing so well. The gap's not as massive, but the MX2 to MXGP step, especially if not on factory material, it's massive, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. So, you will really want to look at the other riders stepping up and battle against them, especially those who are not factory riders. So how many are we actually having to move up? Like Kevin, Panker,
Rowan,
and Moosdijk, me. Gertz or not?
Oh, Yago, yeah. It's kind of different.
Yago.
He's just straight factory, isn't he?
Yeah.
He should do pretty well, I reckon.
He will be good there.
Yamaha just got Beniston and Elzinga.
And Bonacorsi.
Oh, and Bonacorsi, yeah.
That should be pretty good. Who do you think wins the titles in MXGP and MX2, Isaac? Who have you got? I guess it's going to be pretty interesting in MX2. Obviously, the MXGP one's going to be stacked, but MX2 is pretty open now. Obviously, Adamo got the job done. Yago's leaving. You've got Simons probably heading in as the favourite. Then Everts, Beniston, De Wolf, Coonan brothers, I guess Bonacorsi, Elzinger, all these guys. It's going to be pretty stacked, isn't it, mate? So be pretty interesting racing. It should be pretty, comparable, I guess, in America and in MX2. Who knows who's going to win each week, and it's going to be all over the shop, isn't it?
Yeah, MX2 is impossible to guess. I got no idea. No idea. I mean, there's so many good riders there. I feel like they all could win when you look at it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it'll be one of the factory riders, but there's many of them. It will be interesting to see. I think MXGP is more, I guess, hurling, maybe. A bit of a question mark right now, maybe. But I mean, if he's there, he will be winning. So you know what it's like. And then Febre, obviously, it's been pretty close now. But yeah, I'll be thinking about how consistent Prado has been. He's probably got a couple more titles in him. I mean, he's just never crashing or never gets injured, really.
I think those Saturday races really help him as well. Just 20 minutes, he gets the start, and it's like so it's like 10 points straight in the bank straight away. And if Fevra and Hurling are sort of like 4th, 5th, he's like got 3 points on them straight away. So it's I think they definitely.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. Yeah. If Prado can keep his starts like he's got them now, if they can keep that same advantage, whatever he's got to do with, I mean, obviously he's skilled. So if the other guys can't like get to his level at the start, then he'll probably win another title. But if he starts out in 5th and stuff a lot more, it will be maybe a different story. Because he's not coming through the field like February is.
No. He doesn't really crash much either, does he, or have any big ones? So he's always there every week, just picking up points no matter what, isn't he? He's obviously Renault and Hurt, all these guys that had issues, whereas he just turns up every week and gets the job done. Yeah,
that's a big advantage because season is so long.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. And I guess before we wrap this one up, lads, just any final thoughts and anyone you want to shout out to finish the season, mate? So, I guess start with you, Isak. So, been a pretty solid 2023, mate. So just tell us what your plans are for the off season in terms of, holidays, having breaks, bit of fun. And then, we'll look forward to hearing any news on 2024 when it comes.
Obviously I would like to thank everyone who's helped me this year. This special year, putting everything together, Stebbings and 46 Motorsports, Bike Shirt, Technical Solution, WP, and then we also have, VHR, obviously, on the GP side of it, and it's been a lot of people involved this year. It's been a mess, really, but a good mess. And Steven Sword also. I'm just very, very thankful for everything and for everyone who's helped me out. Because otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. Probably nothing. So, and now I'm here. So that's all right. And throughout the winter, I hope I sort out a decent deal for the next year. So have some good plans, some motivating stuff to do, and like a big winter of preparation ahead of me. That's what I really like to do since I missed it last year, where I didn't really do much at all. And normally I want to go on a cycling trip, a couple of weeks, like boot camp, cycling and stuff. So something like that. But right now I just gotta sort out 2024. That's the priority right now, I feel like.
Yeah, awesome, mate. All the best with everything, and definitely thanks for taking the time. And any final thoughts from you, Brad?
No, not really. I guess everyone's just waiting now for A1. I mean, I've got a a meeting with the guys at Fox over here next week. Going to get out and test the new V3 they've got out. So that'll be up on MXvice website in the coming weeks, hopefully. So that'll be good. And yeah, obviously thanks to MXvice as well and Everstrokes, and Big Man James for letting us do this every week. So it's yeah, I think most people now just waiting for that first gate drop. I guess obviously we've got Paris as well and
World Supercross, Aussie Supercross. There's a little bit to keep us going.
Yeah, there's a few little things to keep us ticking over, which is nice. So yeah, Abu Dhabi next weekend, I think, isn't it? So yeah, there's a few things we can talk about, all that. So yeah, be good.
Look forward to catching up again soon, lads. And yeah, all the best with everything. And just before we let you go, we'll thank those sponsors in Fly Racing, Monster Energy, Fox, Parts Europe, Scott, Bell Helmets, Acherby's, ASO Performance, Kawasaki UK, KTM UK, O'Neill, and of course, Even Strokes for all their incredible support, as without them, there is no us. All right. Thanks again, lads. And we look forward to catching up soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.